Hey there, everybody. It's time for Strat-O-Matic baseball. I thought I would squeeze in the second game of the doubleheader began yesterday before we get into the real MLB playoff action today. A full schedule there, both games televised, of course. Simon's here. Hey, Simon. Hope your day is going well. So we've got here the second game of the doubleheader, and this is the third game of a three-game series. The Detroit Tigers at the New York Yankees. The Tigers have won the first two games and are looking for a sweep in Yankee Stadium, which I'm thinking that doesn't happen all that often. So we'll get to the particulars here in a minute. This is Steve Aquilong. Of course, you've all figured out by now, I'm sure, that my name is not Aquilong, but it is Steve. So that part is very much true. Two right-handers today. Bill Monbouquet for Detroit and Bob Friend for Pittsburgh. And I thought what I would do is I'm going to try something a little different today. I'm going to give you both lineups at the beginning. I know they don't do it that way on TV, but I'm kind of thinking, I've thought about this, and I think the flow would be better if I didn't break up the first inning with another lineup announcement. So anyway, here we go. Here's Detroit's starting lineup for today's game. Dick McAuliffe, who hit 2 home runs in the opening game of the doubleheader, will play short and lead off. Jerry Lumpy at second base, bat second. Norm Cash, the first baseman, in the 3 spot. Al Kaline will bat cleanup and play right field. Willie Horton will play left today and hit in the 5 spot. Don Wirt at third base hit 6th. Mickey Stanley will bat 7th today in center field. Orlando McFarland will be doing the catching. He'll hit 8th. And Monbouquet, of course, batting 9th. Both of the starting catchers sit in the second game of the doubleheader. That's pretty much typical. The Yankees will have Bobby Richardson leading off at second base. He put on a defensive display in the opening game. Tom Tresh in left field moves up to the number 2 spot in the order. Roger Maris, the right fielder, hits third. Mickey Mantle will be back in center field today, hitting cleanup. You probably remember he pinch hit in the opening game. Joe Pepitone hits 5th and plays first base. Cleet Boyer, the third baseman, bats 6th. Jake Gibbs will do the catching today. He'll hit 7th. Ruben Amaro's at short again, represented by the nameless card. He'll be hitting 8th. And Bob Friend hits 9th. So we're about ready to get underway here. I thought I'd touch on Bob Friend for a minute as he takes his warm-ups. Friend, many of you might remember Bob Friend pitched the bulk of his career for the Pittsburgh Pirates. From 1951 to 1965, he had 197 lifetime wins. He was traded to the Yankees prior to this 66 season for Pete Mickelson and some money, an undisclosed amount of cash. And then later, in June of this year, Friend would be sold to the Mets for cash. So you'd have to say that the Pirates getting Mickelson, they got the better end of the deal, is what I'm trying to say. Friend would have been 35 years old by this point and near the end of the line. He had a 4.4 earned run average and only made 12 starts. And as I mentioned, some of those would be later for the Mets. Anyway, Friend ready to go now. Game 2 of a doubleheader here, April 14th, 1966. Friend's ready to work. Dick McAuliffe stands in from the left side. Friend gets the sign from Gibbs, and we're underway with the first pitch of the game to McAuliffe. That's going to be a 2-9, and he strikes him out. So McAuliffe down swinging. Excuse my voice today. I woke up with, feels like I'm trying to get a little bit of a cold. So bear with me. I've got some hot tea today in place of the coffee. Trying to clear up the old cords. All right, one away, and here's Jerry Lumpy. Lumpy, a left-handed hitter. Friend, the pitch to Lumpy. That's a 4-12 to the left-hander. Lumpy grounds it down to second base. That's a routine play for Richardson. Throws across to Pepitone, and there's 2 down. And that'll bring up Norm Cash. Cash had a pair of hits in the opener. Friend winds and deals, and here's the pitch to Cash. That's going to be a 6-7 to the lefty. A single to 14, and that's in there. Just past the first baseman. So a 2-out single for Norm Cash. Let's check the catcher-pitcher thing. Friend, terrible at holding runners on, a +6. Gibbs, a 0. Of course, the most the combination can be is a 5. So that would make Cash a 1 through 18 if he could get the lead. But he only gets it on a 3. So we're going to swing away with K-line. Makes no sense to me to take the bat out of his hands. He hit a 2-run homer in the first game of the doubleheader. So Friend from the stretch now, and here's the pitch to K-line. That's going to be a 1-4. Tapper back to the mound. Friend grabs it, flips to first, and that'll do it. So for the Tigers, no runs a hit, they leave a man. And we go to the bottom of the first, no score. And here's Monbouquet now. For Detroit that year, 14 starts, a 4.73 earned run average. He would have been 29 years old at this point. He was primarily known for his work with the Red Sox between 1958 and 1965. He was a 20-game winner in 1963. Here's Bobby Richardson now to lead things off for the Yankees. Monbouquet has completed his warm-ups. Gets the sign from McFarland, the windup, and the pitch to Bobby Richardson. A 2-10. That's going to be a pop-up on the right side. Lumpy's there and puts it away, 1 down. And that'll bring up Tom Tresh, the switch-hitting left fielder. Monbouquet, ready to work now. Winds and deals. A 4-9 to the lefty. Deep blast to right field, going, and that is gone. Home run, Tom Tresh, and the Yankees strike first here in the first inning. And a timely and appropriate crowd roar to go along with it. Excuse me. So we got a 4-9 righty. No, I'm sorry, a 4-9 lefty. Home run. So Tresh homers, and with 1 away, here's Roger Maris. Monbouquet into the windup now, and here's the pitch to Maris. It's a 2-6 against the righty. Grounder to short. McAuliffe to his right. Plants, throws, and gets him. And with 2 away, here comes Mickey Mantle. Mantle really excited the crowd in Game 1 with his pinch hitting appearance. And he doubled in that at bat. Mantle slowed by leg injuries at this point, but one thing he could still do is swing the bat. So Monbouquet into the windup, and here's his pitch to Mickey Mantle. That's a 1-9. Oh my, a grounder to first. Cash has it, flips to Monbouquet covering. But 3-9 there. That was right in his good column where all of his power is. That'll retire the side. The Yankees a hit, a run, the home run by Tresh, and they lead 1-0 at the end of 1 complete. Okay then, we'll move along to the second inning. Willie Horton will start things off for the Tigers. Friends ready to work now. Gets the sign from Gibbs, and here's the pitch to Horton. It's a 5-10 to the right-hander. That's going to be a ground ball to shortstop X. That's Amaro. He's a 3E19. Here's the roll on the play, a 13, and he makes the play. 3 range on a 13. Ground ball C, and Horton is retired. And that'll bring up Don Wirt. Wirt, a right-hander. Good fielding third baseman. Here's Friend's pitch to Wirt. That's a 6-7 against the right-hander. That's a grounder to short. Amaro, to his left, throws across, and he's got him. 2 down. So 2 grounders to short, and here's Mickey Stanley. Friend, the windup and the pitch to Stanley. That's going to be a 5-7 against the right-hander. That's a ground ball to second base X. That's Richardson, a 1E17. Easy play for Richardson on a 20. And he throws him out. So that goes 4-3X, a 1-2-3 inning for Friend. The Tigers are retired in the second. And we go to the bottom of the second, 1-0 New York. So Monbouquet getting loose now. He's set, and here comes Joe Pepitone to lead off the bottom of the second for New York. Pepitone standing in from the left side. Okay, here we go. Monbouquet gets the sign from McFarland, and here's the pitch to Pepitone. That's going to be a 3-6. That's a base hit to 5, and would you look at that, it is a 5. So that just gets past Cash at first, so that'll be a leadoff single for Pepitone. Monbouquet also doesn't have a particularly great move to first. He's a +2. McFarland a +2. So that would make it a 4. That would make Pepitone a 17. He could get caught stealing on a 12, but with a 2-5, it's worth the risk, so he's going to try to establish a good lead. 10, he does not establish a good lead, and Clete Boyer will be hitting away. So Monbouquet from the stretch, and here's the pitch to Boyer. That's going to be a 4-8. He strikes him out. Whoa, called strike 3. Boyer doesn't like it. And he walks back to the dugout as Jake Gibbs strides to the plate. Gibbs doing the catching today, a left-handed hitter. He was their backup catcher that year. 258. Not bad. 9 extra base hits and 182 at-bats. So Monbouquet ready to work to the left-hander, and here's the pitch from the stretch. That's going to be a 3-5. That'll be a base hit into right, and that's an open single, meaning Pepitone can try to go to third. He's a 1-14 runner. Add 2 going to third, that's a 16, and the right fielder it's Kaline. Kaline with a frickin' rifle, -4. That knocks that down to a 1-12, and Pepitone will just stay at second base. Thank you very much. So Pepitone, not wanting to challenge the arm of Al Kaline, he holds up at second on a single by Jake Gibbs. But the Yankees have something going here in the second. First and second and 1 out. Here comes Ruben Amaro. I did not, since he's a nameless card, I forgot to write in his particulars here. He's a right-handed hitter and a 1-12 runner with no power. Monbouquet from the stretch, and here's the pitch to Amaro. That's a 4-8 to the right. He swung on and missed strike 3. See, Monbouquet now, he's one out from getting out of this jam. And here comes Friend. Friend, a terrible hitter even for a pitcher, a right-handed batter. Monbouquet delivered. 3-5. Grounder to short. McAuliffe's got it. He'll go the short way to second, and that'll retire the side. So the Yankees, no runs on 2 hits, they leave 2. And at the end of 2 complete, it's 1-0 New York. The Yankees trying to salvage 1 game out of this 3-game set. Detroit looking for the sweep. And Orlando McFarland will be leading it off for Detroit. He was their backup catcher that year. 254 and 138 at-bats, and he had a little bit of pop. All of it against right-handed pitching. He's a weak against lefties. Friend into the windup now, and here's the pitch to McFarland. That's going to be a 3-8. Swung on and missed strike 3. So Friend hums one right past McFarland there. And there's one away. That'll bring up Monbouquet. He's also a right-handed batter. 2 pitchers hitting card. Friend winds and deals. There's the pitch to Monbouquet, 3-7. He taps one down to second. That's Richardson. Easy play for Richardson, and quickly there's 2 away here in the 3rd. And here is Dick McAuliffe with 2 down. McAuliffe, you might remember, hit 2 home runs in the first game of the doubleheader. That first pitch is outside to McAuliffe. Friend being careful with McAuliffe, and I can't blame him. Now here's the windup and the pitch. That's a 2-10. Fly ball to left, but that's playable for Tresh. He's got it, and there's 3 away. So, Friend has retired 7 in a row now. 1, 2, 3 go the Tigers. And we go to the bottom of the 3rd at 1-0 Yankees. Greetings, Tony. Greetings, Sports Time Machine. Welcome. Hope your guys' day is going well. As you can probably tell, I'm perhaps coming down with a little bit of a cold or something. So bear with me. I've got some hot tea here. Yes, the Tigers held on. Exciting 9th inning. 7-6 was the final. They, with 1 away, the Yankees brought up Mickey Mantle as a pinch hitter who came through with a double. So they had Mantle as the tying run on second with 1 out, but they couldn't get him in. So here we go to the bottom of the 3rd. The Yankees will have the top of their lineup, Richardson, Tresh, and Maris. Monbouquet gets the sign from McFarland and delivers to the plate. It's going to be a 3-11 against the righty. That's a base hit up the middle for Richardson. So a leadoff single for Bobby Richardson. He's not going to try for the lead due to the roll of a 9 would be an automatic caught stealing. So they're not going to risk that with nobody out. Tresh is going to hit away. Tresh hit a home run in the first inning, which is the only run so far today. And here's the pitch from the stretch. That's going to be a 1-9. Swung on and missed strike 3. So Monbouquet gets him this time. And with 1 out, Roger Maris will be the batter. In fact, now that I think about it, there's no reason for Richardson to try any funny business on the bases because Mickey Mantle's on deck. So a runner on first, 1 away. It's Maris and Mantle, and here's Maris and Monbouquet from the stretch. That's a 6-8 to the lefty. That's a grounder to second base X. That's Lumpy. He's a 4-E8. There's the roll on the play, a 2 on the 4. And that's going to be a single with a 2-base advance, so Lumpy can't get to it. That'll be a single for Maris, and Richardson steams into third. And the Yankees have something going here in the third inning. First and third, 1 out. Maris, no threat to steal. And here comes Mickey Mantle. Well, the Tigers at double play depth now. Monbouquet in a jam here in the third, already trailing by a run. He gets the sign from McFarland, and from the stretch, here's his pitch to Mickey Mantle. 5-7. Base hit, right field. That's going to put the run, it's going to score a run and put another runner on third base. So single by Mantle. Richardson scores. Maris steams into third. And the Yankees lead 2-0. On an RBI single by Mickey Mantle. Detroit still playing back, but Monbouquet is clearly in a jam here as Joe Pepitone comes to the plate. He's singled in the second. Okay, first and third, 1 away. Monbouquet from the stretch. That's a 1-4. Pop-up. Second base, Lumpy's got it. And the runners will have to hold, of course, as the infield fly rule is called, and there's 2 down. Okay, 2 away, first and third. Monbouquet trying to get out of this with minimal damage as Clete Boyer comes to the plate. Boyer, the right-hander, struck out in the second, and here's the pitch. That's a 2-4. Pop-up left side. McAuliffe calling for it. He's there. And that does indeed retire the side. So the Yankees get a run on 3 hits and leave 2. So they've left a few on, but after 3 complete, they lead 2-0. Monbouquet, though, and the Tiger fans in particular, have to be happy with getting out of that inning, only allowing 1. So 2-0 ball game as we move along to the 4th inning. The Tigers will have Lumpy, and then the heart of the order, Cash and K-line. Friend ready to work. The sign from Gibbs, and here's the pitch. That's a 2-7. Grounder down to shortstop. Amaro's there. Easy play for Ruben, and there's 1 down. And with 1 away, Norm Cash strides to the plate. Left-handed power hitter singled in the first inning. Friend into the windup, and here's the pitch to Norm Cash. That is a 1-5. Grounder to first base. Pepitone's there. He flips to Friend covering just in time, and there's 2 down. He got a ways to go to come off the mound for that one, is the only reason the play was even close. And now with 2 away, Al Kaline will be the hitter. Here's the pitch from Friend. A 1-5. Ball 4. Kaline draws the walk. So a 2-out walk to Kaline. And here comes Willie Horton. Horton's got some power. He didn't play in the opening game, but he had 27 home runs and 100 runs batted in that year. So the 2-out walk to K-line, and here's Willie Horton. Friend from the stretch now. That's a 6-6. That's a double to 9, and that will be a double into left center. Mantle's over to get that. Mantle's got an arm, and that will force K-line to have to hold up at third. So a 2-out double from Horton. K-Line has to hold at third. So Detroit has the tying runs in scoring position, but there are two away. And here comes Don Wirt. Wirt tapped out to short in the second. Oh, yes, that's true. So here's the situation. K-Line at third, Horton at second, two away, Wirt at the plate, right-hander against right-hander. From the stretch, the pitch from Bob Friend. That's going to be a 4-5. Grounder to third base, that's Boyer. That's an easy play for Clete Boyer, and he throws him out to retire the side. So the Tigers strand a pair, one hit, no runs. And we go to the bottom of the fourth, still 2-0 New York. So bottom of the fifth, the Yankees will have the bottom of the order up. Gibbs, Amaro, and Friend. Monbouquet ready to work now. Gets the sign from McFarland, and here's the pitch to Gibbs. That's going to be a 5-8. That's deep to right field. Back goes K-Line. That's off the wall. It's going to be a double for Gibbs. Let's take another look at that. 5-8, homer to 1. It's a 9. Anything else is a double. And that'll be a leadoff double for Gibbs. Gibbs 2 for 2 today. Filling in for Elston Howard. And that'll bring up Ruben Amaro. Amaro struck out in the second. Monbouquet from the stretch. And here's the pitch. That's going to be a 2-10. That's a single into left, and that's an open single. Okay, so Gibbs can try to score on that. I don't think that's going to happen. He's a 1-12 runner. Horton's a -1. Yeah, with nobody out, I don't think so. He's going to hold up. And the Tigers will bring the infield in. Thinking about a possible bunt. Friend was an A bunter. So with the infield in, God, they could almost try for the squeeze play here. Or they could play it safe and bunt the tying run over to stay out of the double play. I think that's what I would do. So we're going to go for the straight sacrifice here. With the infield in, Friend is a B. He lays it down. It's a 5 on a B, and the sacrifice bunt works to perfection. So we'll credit Friend with the sacrifice. That moves Amaro over to second. And the Yankees now have 2 runners in scoring position with 1 away and the top of the order coming up. Detroit will keep the infield in. They don't want to fall any further behind here. As Monbouquet gets ready to work to Richardson, and here's the pitch from the stretch. That's a 3-4 to the righty. Fly to left field B ? Okay, so he makes the catch. Gibbs can tag up on that. Gibbs was a 1-12, Horton a -1, 1-11. And that's the second out. With a 55% chance to score, they have to go for it. Gibbs is tagging. Here comes the throw, and he's in there. So that'll make it a sacrifice fly for Richardson. He gets an RBI on the play. Gibbs scores, and it's 3-0 New York. And there's 2 away. A risky play, you might think, with the catcher running, but on the other hand, a 55% chance to score. Otherwise, there's 2 outs. Certainly, Tresh doesn't have a 55% chance of driving in a run, so that's why I did that. Okay, here's Tresh with 2 away. Amaro's still standing on second. The pitch from the stretch. 1-4. He grounds it down to short. Easy play for McAuliffe. And he throws him out. But the Yankees tack one on 2 hits. They leave a man. And at the end of 4 complete, it's New York 3, Detroit nothing. Friend getting set to go. I'll have a little sip of tea. I'm looking at the comment by Sports Time Machine. Yes, I realize that. In fact, I have the card. I have all of these card sets on my Windows version. That's where I got the fielding rating and the running rating and the stealing rating and all of that stuff. I did do that for one starting pitcher who was uncarded, but for the most part, I'm really more about the process here than the results. So I think for the guys that didn't play very much, I'm just as happy to continue to use the nameless cards. There might be other situations like the one exception that I did make already, but that will be decided on a case-by-case basis. All right, here's Friend now. Bottom of the order up for the Tigers. They trail by 3. They'll have Stanley, McFarland in the pitcher's spot. Friend ready to work now, and here's the pitch to Stanley. That's going to be a 2-5. That's a pop-up shortstop. That's Amaro. He's got it. And there's 1 down. And here's McFarland. Orlando McFarland struck out in the 3rd. Detroit backup catcher. Here's the pitch from Friend. That's a 2-7. Swung on and missed strike 3. And down goes McFarland for the 2nd time today. Top of the 5th. And here's Monbouquet. He's going to bat. Here's the pitch from Friend. It's a 6-11. How about that? Monbouquet singles into right field. So a 2-out single by the pitcher. You just never know, do you? Oh God, yeah, Windows, Live 365. In fact, I played exclusively Windows for the past 25 years. I just recently got back into the cards and dice, and I have to say I am loving it. There's something about the whole tactile feel of the thing. The Windows game, if you want to play leagues quickly and keep stats, by all means, the Windows game is the way to go. You can run an entire league. You can sim an entire league in 10 to 15 minutes and have more stats than you could ever want to see. But if you want the enjoyment of playing the game, I'm thinking cards and dice is the way to go. All right, we move along to the 5th. I'm sorry, we're in the 5th. I get sidetracked when I start yakking. Okay, Monbouquet's on first base, 2 away, and here's McAuliffe. McAuliffe 0 for 2 today. Friend from the stretch. That's going to be a 5-8. McAuliffe grounds it down to first. That's going to be Pepitone. Flips to Friend covering, and that'll do it. So for Detroit, no runs a hit, they leave a man. And we go to the bottom of the 5th. The Yankees still leading 3-0. The Yankees will have the heart of the order in the bottom of the 5th. That'll be Maris, Mantle, and Pepitone. As is Monbouquet. Point taken. So Monbouquet ready to go here in the bottom of the fifth. Here's Maris. Here's the windup and the pitch. 2-7. Maris draws the walk. A leadoff walk to Maris. And both teams will get pitchers up in the bullpen. The Yankees are going to have Pedro Ramos throwing. He pitched in this game in real life. In real life in this game, Monbouquet pitched a complete game for what it's worth. But he is an S5. And as the middleman, they're going to get Johnny Padres up. That's just a sentimental choice on my part, as, of course, Padres a longtime Dodger. So a leadoff walk to Maris. Let's check his running situation here. He cannot even try for a lead. So Mantle will obviously hit away. Monbouquet from the stretch. Here's the pitch to Mantle. 5-11. Deep fly ball to right field. K-Line's back. He's there and makes the catch. And that'll bring up Joe Pepitone. Joe Pepitone, supposedly an acquaintance of Cosmo Kramer, steps to the plate, batting left-handed. And here's the pitch from Monbouquet. 2-8. That's going to be deep to right field, and that is gone. A 2-run blast from Joe Pepitone. And the Yankees jump out 5-0. So Maris scores. 2 RBIs from Pepitone. And here comes Chuck Dressen, and that's going to be it for Monbouquet. So Monbouquet lasts only 4 1/3. Gave up 9 hits. I'm looking for walks now. That was the only walk here to lead off the fifth. He struck out 3. And he allowed all 5 runs, all of them earned. And here comes Johnny Padres. Padres a lefty. .43 earned run average that year, 108 innings pitched. So Monbouquet, who pitched a complete game in this game in real life, takes an early shower here in the fifth in this one. And Padres ready to go to Clete Boyer here. Padres going over some signs with McFarland. Now they're ready. The windup and the pitch to Clete Boyer. That's going to be a 4-6. Swung on and missed strike 3. So Padres fans Boyer, that's the second out of the inning. Padres 1955 World Series hero for Brooklyn. And here's Jake Gibbs. And here's the pitch, a 4-5 fly to left field, playable. That's Horton, and that'll do it. So Padres comes in and retires too, but the Yankees tack on 2 runs on a hit, the home run by Pepitone. And after 5 complete, it's New York 5, Detroit nothing. Ramos appears ready in the New York pen. He sits down for a minute. Now he stands up and starts tossing lightly, probably just staying loose. Detroit will have lumpy cash and K-line here. Friend ready to work. Here's the pitch to Lumpy. That's a 1-7. Lumpy flies it into center. That's going to be a can of corn for Mantle. And he puts it away. One down, and here's Norm Cash. Cash 1 for 2 today. Friend into the windup. Here's the pitch to Cash. 4-2 to the lefty. Fly ball to right, deep. Back goes Maris. He's there. 2 down. Let's look at that again. 4-2, left-hander. Deep fly ball to right, playable. So there's 2 down, and here's K-line. K-line 0 for 1, walked in the 4th inning. Friend ready to go now, winds and deals. That's going to be a 2-10. Deep fly ball to left field. Tresh back on that. He's at the track and makes the catch. So a 1-2-3 inning for Friend, but there were a couple of hard hit balls in there worth keeping an eye on. 3 up, 3 down, no one left for Detroit, and we go to the bottom of the 6th. The Yankees still leading 5-0. Amaro will lead off for New York. Johnny Padres will come out again. Padres, the sign from McFarland. Here's the pitch to Amaro. It's a 3-6 against the lefty. Grounder down to short. McAuliffe's there. Throws across in time, and there's 1 down. And that'll bring up Friend. Right-handed hitter. Here's the pitch, a 1-6, swung on and missed, strike 3. Considered pinch hitting there, but with Friend cruising along with a shutout, I didn't consider it very seriously. And here is Richardson. Padres ready to go. 5-9 to the righty. That's deep to left field. That's going to be off the wall for a double. So a 2-out double by Bobby Richardson, who's 3 for 4 today, by the way. And that'll bring up Tresh. Tresh will turn around and bat right-handed against Johnny Padres. Padres checks his runner, and from the stretch, the pitch. That's a 1-12, and he hits him. Oh, my God. Tresh hit by the pitch. He doesn't like it. Down to first he goes. So first and second, 2 away, and here's Roger Maris. Okay, everybody's calmed down now, and here's the pitch from Padres. A 3-11 against the lefty. Grounder to second. That'll be Lumpy. He's got it, throws across in time, and that will retire the side. So for the Yankees, no runs a hit, they leave 2. At the end of 6 complete, Yankees 5, Tigers nothing. Call it a house rule or whatever, but I almost never remove a pitcher who's pitching a shutout. Even fatigued. I'll wait till he gives up a run, but I figure if he's pitching a shutout, he's earned the right to go for it. The exception might be he's tired in the 9th. The tying run is on. The situation calls for the best reliever. Then I probably would do it. Anyway, some of my thinking there. So 6 complete, it's 5-0. In the 7th, the Tigers will have Horton, Ward, and Stanley. Friend ready to work now. He's working on a 3-hit shutout, for God's sakes. And here's the pitch to Horton. It's a 1-8. Fly to center, playable. Mantle's there. He's got it. And there's one down. And here's Don Wirt. Wirt 0 for 2 today. Here's the pitch to Wirt. That's going to be a 1-5. Tapper back to the mound. Friend knocks it down, picks it up, throws to first in time. So 2 away, and here's Mickey Stanley. Friend, the windup and the pitch to Stanley. That's a 4-5 to the righty. Grounder down to third. That's Boyer. Ranges to his left, scoops it up, throws across. Nice play by Boyer. Then I'll retire to the side. So 1-2-3 for Friend. Down go the Tigers, and after 6.5, it's 5-0 Yankees. Padres will go out there again with with Mantle and Pepitone due up. Maris made the last out of the 6th. Let me get a little drink of my tea here. All right. Yeah, Padres was the Phillies pitching coach. I'd forgotten about that. So here's Mickey Mantle. He'll turn around and bat righty against Padres. And here's the pitch. 5-7 to the right-hander. Grounder to short. McAuliffe has it. Throws across just in time. A faster, younger Mickey Mantle might have beat that one out. And here's Pepitone. Padres, the sign and the pitch. 6-11 to the lefty. That's a fly to right field X. That'll be K-line. K-line, a marvelous 1E3. That's gold glove material. A 3 on the 1. An amazing running catch by K-line. So a hell of a play by K-line, and there's 2 away. And here's Boyer. Yeah, let me look at that again. On a 1, the roll was a 3. Yeah, only a 1 outfielder could have made that catch. And here's Boyer with 2 away. And here's the pitch, a 6-7. Grounder to second base X. That's Lumpy. Lumpy a 4E8. The roll is a 7, and Lumpy makes the play. So a 1-2-3 inning for Padres. After 7 complete, it's 5-0 New York. Dooley Womack will join Pedro Ramos, I should say, in the New York bullpen. But they're not throwing with much conviction. Right now, it's Friend's game. He's got a 5-run lead. A 3-hit shutout he's working on. The Tigers will have the bottom of the order. McFarland, then obviously a pinch hitter for Padres. So here's McFarland. Friend ready to work, and here's the pitch. 3-2. Deep to left field. Going back, that's gone. That's a home run, Orlando McFarland. And what do you know about that? The backup catcher breaks up the shutout with a home run. Well, I'd mentioned before he had a little power. And there's a conference at the mound. Meanwhile, Chuck Dressen's going to be looking for a pinch hitter. Yep, he's calling back Padres. So Padres work 2 2/3. He'll yield for a pinch hitter here. He only allowed 1 hit, no runs, did not walk a man, and struck out 2. So Detroit will get another pitcher up. See, I'll have to pick somebody because they didn't. Aguirre, the left-hander. Hang on, I just want to check and see who pitched in the first 2 games. Sherry's unavailable. So Aguirre and Fred Gladding, Hank Aguirre and Fred Gladding warming for Detroit. That'll probably be Aguirre. And they're going to send up a pinch hitter. Don Demeter will come to bat for Detroit. And as soon as he is announced, here comes Johnny Keane. And that's going to be it for Friend. So Demeter announced as the pinch hitter, and now we're going to have a pitching change. Friend goes 7+. Keane was going to let him go as long as he held the shutout intact. But the home run to McFarland changes the picture as it's 5-1 now. He's still only allowed 4 hits. But as Sports Machine pointed out, with an endurance rating of 5, you can only go so far with these guys. He walked 1. 2, 3 strikeouts for Bob Friend. So Friend's done, and Dooley Womack will be coming on for the Yankees. Womack, a righty. 2.64 earned run average and 75 innings of relief. And he'll be facing the pinch hitter, Don Demeter. 5-1, nobody out, top of the 8th, and here's the pitch. It's a 1-5. He struck him out, so Demeter down on strikes. 1 down, and here's Dick McAuliffe. McAuliffe 0 for 3 today. Womack ready to go. Here's the windup and the pitch. It's a 3-4. Tapper down to first. Pepitone there. Flips to Womack covering. And there's 2 away. And Jerry Lumpy will be the hitter. Left-hander. Womack winds and deals. It's a 4-6 to the lefty. Fly to center, medium deep. Mantle's there. He's got it. Womack comes in and restores order. The Tigers a run on a hit. The homer by McFarland. And we go to the bottom of the 8th, 5-1 New York. Hank Aguirre will be coming on to pitch for Detroit. Oh, good grief. That's not how you do it. I'm spelling his name wrong. 2 R's in Aguirre. Left-hander. 3.82 in 104 innings, starter reliever. He'll be seeing Gibbs, Amaro in the pitcher's spot. With a 5-1 lead, I would imagine that Womack will be allowed to bat. So here's Gibbs. Gibbs 2 for 3 today. Gary ready to work to him now. The windup and the pitch. 6-11 to the lefty. That's a base hit into right field, and Jake Gibbs is 3 for 4. McFarland a homer. It's a day for the backup catchers here. And here's another thing that kind of stuns me a little bit. Gibbs is an asterisk 16 stealer. How often do you see that from a catcher? So he'll have to be held on. Gary's a -1. McFarland a +2. So he'd be a 1 through 15 if he got the lead. And with Amaro up, he's going to try for it. 2 to 5. Does not get it. So Amaro will hit away. A 3-7. He struck him out. So let's keep that in mind. I was thinking, do the Yankees have another shortstop? They do. But it's Dick Schofield who has a terrible defensive rating. I was considering a defensive replacement for Amaro, but he's actually by far the best they've got. Okay. So Womack will hit. He is a 1 hitting card, a left-handed batter. And here's the pitch, lefty on lefty, a 2-10. He draws the walk. Gary loses him. So that'll push Gibbs down to second. First and second, 1 out, and here comes Bobby Richardson. So Gary digging himself a little hole here in the 8th. Richardson trying to tack on an insurance run, and here's the pitch. That's a 2-5 against the lefty. That's a grounder to the pitcher B. So Gary down to short, back to first, not in time. That'll be a force play. That'll be scored 1-6. The pitcher is forced. Gibbs takes third on the play. So first and third, 2 away, and here's Tresh. So we've got Gibbs at third, Richardson at first, 2 away, and here's Tresh. Here's the pitch. It's a 1-8. Tapper back to the mound. Gary has it. Flips across, and that'll do it. So for New York, no runs, a hit, they leave 2. And at the end of 8 innings, it's 5-1 Yankees. Any changes for them? They look pretty good. I mean, you could arguably put in a center fielder for Mickey Mantle, but I'm not taking Mickey Mantle out of the game. Okay, Dooley Womack's going to go for it here in the 9th. The Tigers will have Cash, K-Line, and Horton, the heart of the order. Womack's ready to go now. Gets the sign from Gibbs, the windup, and the pitch to Cash. That's a 1-9. Grounder down to first. Pepitone flips to Womack, 1 away. And here's Al K-Line. K-Line 0 for 2 with a walk today. Womack, the windup, the pitch to K-Line. A 5-8. Grounder to second base, X. That's Richardson. He's a 1E17. On a 19, an easy play for Richardson. And the Tigers are down to their last out in the form of Willie Horton. Horton standing in from the right side. Womack stares in, gets his sign. The windup and the pitch. A 6-6, a double to 9, a fly ball to center. Mantle going back and makes the catch to end the ball game. Let's look at that again. 6-6 righty, double to 9. The roll is an 11. fly out to center, and that'll do it. So Womack comes in, retires all 6 batters to face him, as the Yankees cruise to a 5-1 win here and salvage one game of the 3-game series at least, a split of the doubleheader. So Bob Friend picks up the win here. Womack does not get a save. They had a 4-run lead when he came in, and he pitched 2 innings. So that is, he gave up no hits, no walks, struck out 1. So well-pitched game by Friend, and then Womack came in with 2 flawless innings. Gary pitched an inning, gave up a hit, a walk, a K, no runs. Monbouquet, of course, takes the loss. So for Detroit, they had a run on only 4 hits, made no errors. In fact, there were no errors in the game for either side. The Yankees, 5 runs on 11 hits, no errors. And that's your final here from Yankee Stadium as the Yankees beat the Tigers 5-1. I want to thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed this game. Let's see. We've got a lot of playoff action today. Let me check the schedule for tomorrow. What is the playoff schedule for tomorrow? That's what I'm interested in. The MLB playoffs, of course, I'm referring to here. Very good. There would be one game, the Arizona at Philadelphia, 5:07 p.m. Pacific. So I'm going to go back to my normally, the time I like the best actually, 3 p.m. Pacific. And I can go ahead and tell you right now what it's going to be. It's going to be the Chicago Cubs at the San Francisco Giants. So you'll want to tune in for that one. In the meantime, this is Steve Aquilong saying, have a good one. Enjoy the playoffs. Have a wonderful day. 2 big games today. Enjoy it. And everybody take care and be well out there. And I'll talk to you later. Bye now.